Hey, how's it going, everybody? Mike Weber here, your Los Angeles real estate broker, here with your real estate market update for the beginning of February 2021. We have lost no time in that we are off to the races when it comes to the real estate market already this year. We're seeing totally insane activity out there in various markets. All kinds of bubble activity. We saw the recent run up in GameStop and AMC theaters and a lot of other stocks for that matter that are trading, at over 1,000 times earnings. Totally insane things. Bitcoin, of course, is bubbling back up there. And of course, we're seeing something similar really happening in the real estate market as a result of these, extraordinarily low interest rates and a lot of government, intervention in ways that they're kind of helping to stimulate demand in the market. One of the things that I thought for sure would happen, in fact, has happened, and that is the moratorium on evictions has been extended. There's been a lot of talk about, increasing or extending the mandatory forbearance option that people were able to get last year for up to a year. And I can certainly see these things continuously being kicked down the road into the future. I also believe that legislation was passed allowing landlords to recover up to 80% of unpaid rent from tenants in their properties that are not paying rent. So there's a lot of laws, a lot of things that are changing. I mean, literally almost day by day, week by week, the environment for residential real estate here in California is just changing so quickly. But that being said, housing supply is at an absolute low, and housing demand is through the roof. In fact, I am part of a top producers group at my Keller Williams office, and one of the agents shared with us the other day that a property that she had buyers for had 64 offers, if you can believe it. So imagine, being one of 64 people trying to buy a house. I mean, it almost seems silly to submit an offer in a circumstance like that, unless you're a cash buyer paying, $100,000, $200,000 over asking. No contingencies, no inspections, no appraisal, so on and so forth is probably going to be your only shot at getting your offer accepted with that much competition. So anyways, we'll go ahead and get started, look at what's happening in Los Angeles County as a whole, and then we'll jump in, we'll look at the South Bay beach cities where I actually live and just see what information is coming out of our board of realtors here locally. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so starting out here, Los Angeles County, we see prices are up year over year, 13.4%, if you can believe it. This new sort of price, floor, if you will, or ceiling, but most likely it's going to end up being a floor that we reached several months back, is definitely showing signs of strength. And it certainly looks like this is going to hold, into the future. It will be interesting to see, is this going to continue taking off and moving upward after such a dramatic spike in home prices over the last 12 months that we saw, starting back here in May of 2020, right around when, COVID hit, we had lockdowns and that sort of thing. And of course, as we've seen before, we really haven't seen anything like a spike like this in home prices, going back here at least 5 years. And really, we'd have to go all the way back to about 2013 to see something somewhat similar to this sort of price growth in such a short period of time. Now, if we take a look at month supply, or the supply of inventory on the market, here's where you can see why the competition is so insane out there for homes. We are at 2.1 months supply. And as you can see here from this chart, going back at least 5 years, inventory has never been that low in Los Angeles County. The lowest here was December 2017, 2.3 months. And here we are already in February, and we're at 2.2 months. Take that back, 2.2 months here at the end of January. So, there was one year back in 2017 where we had similarly low inventory. But after that, I mean, look, this whole year it was way higher than it was. This is when interest rates were going up. It remained pretty high. Here it hit a low of 2.4, which is still low. And then now we're just at this kind of absolute sort of low in terms of inventory. So naturally, whatever's out there, people are bidding like crazy. They're buying it up immediately. People are going totally bananas, to get whatever properties and inventory they can. If we look at closed sales actually are up compared to a year ago, which kind of makes sense. I forget when COVID started exactly, but obviously we saw a huge downtrend in sales kind of for the most of last year because of the lockdowns and just kind of what happened. So it makes sense that this year we're going to see higher sales in general when we look at year over year numbers as comparing to similar months last year. Overall, we're up 14.3%. So clearly what little inventory is out there is being bought up feverishly by buyers in the market. Now, if we take a look at the South Bay beach cities, dive down a little bit deeper, we are seeing that kind of new, what likely will become a floor. We're seeing a drop off here over the last couple months. So we kind of peaked out here, 860-ish thousand median home price. And now in the last 2 months, we have dipped down, but we're still up 9.8%. So almost 10%. Compared to a year ago, which of course is a substantial amount of growth in home prices in such a short period of time. Now, if we take a look at the supply of inventory in the South Bay, same thing. I mean, literally this one going back all the way back 5 years, nothing even close. Lowest point was over here, 1.6. We reached 1.3 in December, and now we're at that low point, 1.6 here in February. So again, just no inventory out there, nothing to buy. And so obviously that's the reason why it is so competitive. And as a buyer, you really have to be extremely aggressive, extremely qualified, and have an agent that's extremely knowledgeable just to even have a shot of getting an offer accepted in such a competitive market right now. Now, if we look at closed sales, we see same thing. We're up 27.8% compared to a year ago. So it does seem kind of strange that we have low inventory and higher closed sales. But again, because the inventory is lower, that means more of it is being bought versus sitting on the market, which obviously explains how we could have substantially higher closed sales, as we compared to a year ago at the same month in time. All right, so I hope this information is useful. I'm going to be following the real estate market. I think this year we're going to see some volatility in real estate in different ways. I'm not saying that I think prices are going to come down, because I think there's a pretty good chance that they can continue to inflate and moving to the upside. But of course, it'll be interesting, and it's all going to depend on what the government continues to do, how they affect the market one way or another. But we'll be keeping a close eye on it. We'll be keeping you informed. If this information is useful, if you like it, click the thumbs up, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. And let me know what you guys think, what you're seeing in your local market. Of course, if I can help you with anything real estate related anywhere in Greater Los Angeles, I'm here to do that. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.